Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining our iStaging talk today. My name is Stefan, and I'm here today with my colleague Andrea, who is available to you via the chat. She'll be sending out some helpful information throughout the chat, and you can ask her any questions as well. Don't worry if you don't get an answer immediately. We will cover all those questions towards the end of the talk. We have something tremendously exciting for you today. We're going to talk about everything that has to do with capturing. Now, most of you know that iStaging we provide a solution that enables you to create wonderful virtual tours of any type of space, so virtual walkthroughs. But to get there, you have different ways of actually capturing the 360 images to ultimately combine them into a tour on our platform. And we're going to talk about two main capture solutions today. Number one would be the Insta360 One X camera. We're very proud to announce that we've recently partnered with them, and they're fully integrated within our app, so we're going to show you how that works. And the number two solution would be our Rotator and lens solution, which enables you to capture 360 images using your smartphone. So we're going to talk about the differences. First of all, we're going to show you how it works, and then after that, we're going to show you some tips and tricks on how to create the best quality panoramas. So let's just dive right in. The first thing I'm going to do is share my screen with you guys. So just give me 1 second. If you see me look to the right sometimes, it's just to make sure that I'm not going too fast. If I am talking too fast, then just let Andrea know. She'll slow me down just in case. Now, the very first thing that I want to show you, I see that I have to wait a couple seconds here, is what we're going to be working towards. So the actual end result, the actual virtual tour that we actually want to create after we've captured. So this is the idea. Obviously, I can move wherever I want to go inside this space. I can go all the way up, or I can go all the way down, and I can virtually walk through this space by actually clicking on a hotspot that moves me to that point in the room. Now, this is the type of tour that we're going to be working towards, and the type of quality that we are looking for with the smartphone or the Insta One X. So keep this in mind, that this is what we want to do with the iStaging platform. And then now let's look at the way to get here, or at least the capturing part of that. All right. So then what we're first going to talk about is the Insta One X. So get your smartphone out, and the first thing that you need to do is obviously create an iStaging account via iStaging.com. Once you've got your account set up, you go to the App Store or the Google Play Store on your smartphone, and you download the VR Maker app, this little icon right here, okay? And you log in with your account details. And what I want you to do is click on the pink capture button at the very bottom of the screen right here, and that will lead you to the capture screen of the app. And then at the bottom, you have the different capture solutions that are integrated within the app. So you see the Rotator, the Insta360, the Panono Theta. But we're going to talk about the Insta360 and the Rotator today. And the first one is the Insta360. So when you click on that, it will ask you to actually connect the Insta One X with the app via Wi-Fi. So go to settings, go to Wi-Fi, and obviously turn on the Insta One X first. So you have this little on button on there. Just turn it on. Okay. And then on the Insta One X, you can find a Wi-Fi password, and automatically in your settings, the One X will pop up, and you just enter the password that is shown on the Insta One X camera, and you connect it. Now, within a couple seconds, it'll be connected, and you want to go back to the capture screen of the app. All right, and then within a couple seconds, you'll see that it is connected. There you go, and all you need to do now is basically click on the pink capture button at the bottom. That's when you basically take a photo. But before you do that, obviously make sure that you place the camera, at in the location that you want to take a photo with. Most of the time, you use a tripod on the screen. You see that I just placed it on the table right now, but you want to place it, use a tripod. You can use any tripod. It doesn't have to carry anything heavy. And then all you need to do is click the capture button, and within 2 to 3 seconds, it'll make a clicking sound, and it takes the image, all right? And then it stitches that image together immediately. and you can place it in a different location, which which you can see me doing right here. And so you know with the clicking sound, you know that when it actually takes that photo. And once that's done, you know, once that photo is stitched together, what you want to do is preview those images. And you can preview them by actually clicking on the little local album icon on the left side next to the capture button. Okay, so when you click on that button, you'll go to the local album and you'll see all the photos that you've taken. And the one in the top left, the top two are the latest one that we took. Here you go. This is the end result of the actual panel. You can go all the way up, you can go all the way down. You see absolutely amazing, amazing quality. Let's go to the second one. And you'll also see that everything what is close up, including the smartphone, or the telephone there, is very, very high quality. All right. And before I go into what you want to do with these panorama after this, so you actually want to upload them to your VR editor in your iStaging account so that you can build the tour. First thing I want to do is show you how the Rotator solution works. Okay, so you see that the Insta, you basically just connect it via Wi-Fi and you're good to go. So really, really simple. And now, so if we go to the Rotator solution, you do the exact same thing. So you go to the capture screen of the app, all right? You click on the pink capture button at the bottom of the screen, and you choose Rotator, all right? Instead of the Insta360, you choose Rotator, and if you use our Rotator solution, you will receive this little rotator right here and this little lens, okay? And then obviously you already have your smartphone, so you're good to go. Now, what it will ask you to do is to pair your rotator with the smartphone, with the app, via Bluetooth. So step one is turn on your rotator, all right? And a little blue light will pop up, okay? And then turn on Bluetooth on your phone, okay? And when you do that, it should automatically connect your rotator with the smartphone, and you can see that it's connected by the pink capture button at the bottom. If that button is actually gray, it means it's not connected. So then just try again. If it's pink, which you can see it is right now, that means that we're good to go. All right? So that's step one. Then step number two is placing the lens on the camera lens of your phone. Okay? That's step number two. This might be a little bit tricky in the beginning, but you'll get the hang of it soon enough. And then step number three is basically placing your phone on the rotator. Okay? And then you place it you naturally would place it on a bigger tripod, okay, similar to the Insta One X. And all you need to do then is click on the capture button at the bottom, and it will automatically start rotating, okay? And the rotation takes about 25 to 30 seconds, automatically stitches that photo together, and you get a perfectly stitched panorama. Now you see a green circle on the capture screen. That means that you perfectly placed the lens, the 720 lens, on your smartphone. All right. If it's yellow or if it's red, that means that you can improve it. Then, you know, the next capture that you do, make sure that you adjust that lens a little bit. Okay. Now you can already immediately see the two or one of the differences. With the Insta One X, it's an instant shot, right? It takes no less than, or no more than 3 seconds, whereas with the rotator, it takes about 25 to 30 seconds, all right, to actually capture. But sometimes with some of the smartphones actually can provide a very, very high quality image, sometimes even higher than a 360 camera, okay? And you can naturally walk with the rotator so that you're not, you know, inside the shot. With the Insta One X, you just have to get out of the room, you know, if you don't want to be in the shot, okay? Now, once you've done that, both with the Insta One X and the smartphone solution, we always recommend that you actually, you know, preview the photo just to make sure that it's what you want. If it's not what you want, okay, then just take another shot. And if you go back to, you know, your office or back home and you realize that it's not great, you know, that's just a waste of time. Okay, so you see here, perfect, you know, wonderful quality. You saw the tripod at the bottom and the little black hole at the top. We will, you know, go into those tips and tricks on how to avoid that or create, you know, an even better quality right after these videos. So stay tuned for that. It'll take only a couple more minutes. Then we want to save those photos. So you select the photos, okay? And it will ask you to name your tour. And you basically save the photos that go into one virtual walkthrough, one live tour. All right, we call virtual tours live tours at iStaging, and you automatically upload them to the app and to your VR editor, and then you're basically good to go. But now you only have 360 images, right? Standard 360 images, but it's not a virtual walkthrough yet. Now you have to start doing the editing process, and one of those steps is actually adding hotspots, right? Adding a hotspot actually means, being able to walk from point A, from panorama A to panorama B, just like I showed you in the beginning of the tour. And you can actually add those within the app, or you can do it on your desktop in the VR editor. Now, I'm going to show you today how to do this within the app, all right? So this is up to you whether or not you want to do it, at the location on your smartphone. Other people say, well, I'd rather do it at home or at the office. It's fine either way. So what you want to do is choose the tour in the app that you want to actually add hotspots in, all right? You choose the panorama, and you will see 3 buttons in the top right corner. And you can see edit hotspot. Now I think I'm going a little bit too fast. All right, there's a button that says edit hotspot in the top right corner, and when you click on that, a little plus icon will appear. You click on the plus icon, and a hotspot will appear. The default hotspot is a circle. You can also choose an arrow, or you can choose a customized icon later on. And all you need to do then is place that hotspot into the direction that you actually want to be walking towards, and then choose the destination panorama, right? The panorama that I basically want to end up with. Now, in this case, I only chose 2 panoramas, so that's easy, right? I just choose the other panorama at the bottom. And then it will ask you to set a default orientation or viewpoint. Now, if I'm walking into that direction towards the TV, then when I end up in that, at that direction, I still want to face that, the TV, and not face the other way, which is a weird virtual experience. That's not how it goes in real life. So make sure that you always set the correct viewpoint. And then you will see that it asks you if you want to add a return hotspot. What does that mean? What does a return hotspot mean? It means if I go from panorama A to B, I also want to be able to go back from B to A. Now, this saves me 50% of the time, and most of the time, this is what I want. So I would say, yes, please do so. It will automatically add that hotspot for me. So I'll click confirm and click on save, and you're basically ready to go then. Because if I then click on that hotspot, it will move me to that panoramic image. It might be a little bit too fast. All right. Okay. So I hope that this, as you can see, very, very simple, very easy to do. Both with the Rotator solution or with the Insta360 One X, this process will be the same. You can actually even edit here, as you can see, some of the panoramas yourself. You can add filters, or you can adjust the brightness if you want to inside the panorama to create an even better quality. Now, what I want to do now is go through let me just quickly go back to the tour here, all right? So naturally, these are the shots that were taken, and this is the end result, right? You can add branding, you can add a name, you can add floor plans, Google Maps location, you can add tags and notes, and you can embed videos. There are tons of possibilities within the platform, right? Once you've captured, to create a wonderful virtual experience that you can then share with your clients or any viewer, basically. So keep that in mind. Now, what I said is I want to go through some tips and tricks on how to create the best panorama. Because sometimes you guys come to us and say, well, the panorama was a little bit blurry, or it was too bright, or it was not the quality that I was looking for. And there are some tips that you have to keep in mind to make sure that you get the best quality. So let's go out and take a look at that. I'm going to just share a couple slides with you. So here we go. All right, now I think you're all ready to see this, everything about capturing tips and tricks. Okay, so we're going to be focusing on both the Rotator and the Insta360 X. Okay, I'll give you some tips on both sides. Number one would be the stitching. So if we talk about the Rotator solution here, you just saw with the panorama that there was a little bit of a black hole at the top, which has to do with stitching when you're actually, when the smartphone is rotating. All right. There are a couple things that you can do to avoid this. Number one would be align the lens, so this lens, with the center of the rotator. Okay. On this phone, the camera lens is actually in the middle, so just place it in the middle. In the case of an iPhone, it's mostly on the side, and then place your phone more towards the side of the rotator, which you can see on the slide there. All right, that'll help make sure that that circle, is as small as possible, or that is not even there. Don't worry if it's there. You can actually cover that with a logo later on. So even if it's a little bit bigger, you can cover it with a logo, and it's a good branding opportunity within your tour. Number two, make sure that you screw your phone tightly on the rotator, that it doesn't do this, all right, that your phone doesn't do this or that, because that has a big impact on the stitching of the photo, okay? Don't go too fast. And number three would be make sure that the lens clip is well positioned on your camera's phone. This might be a little bit tricky at first, but you'll get better at it, as you go, all right? So that's number one. Okay, then for blurry, sometimes you get a bit of blurry panoramas. All right, now what can we do about that? In case of the 720 lens, very simple. Sometimes you forget stuff like that. Just clean the lens of your phone, clean the lens of the 720 lens. You get a little, nice piece of cloth with the lens. Use it because it truly does make a difference. All right, and then for the second tip on the rotator solution is making sure that you choose the right lens. Okay, now the majority of you will have the black mercury lens, but for the ones of you that have been with us for over a year or for a long time, you might still have a Torres lens. And there are two options within the VR Maker app. Choose the right lens, because if you choose the wrong lens, if you're using a mercury and you choose the Torres, then the software actually adapts and you might get a blurry panorama. All right, so good to keep in mind. And for the Insta360 X, okay, also here, if it gets blurry, make sure that it's perfectly straight on the tripod, not like that, or in this way, okay? That has an impact on the quality of your photo. So in both cases, the majority is just about the setup, setting it up properly. And once you've set it up properly, which takes you less than, I don't know, it's always under 5 minutes, probably under a minute, you're good to go and you get good quality, consistent panoramas. All right, then overexposed panoramas. Sometimes you say, oh, I'm in a really bright room, or I'm outside and it's just so bright, I can't really see anything. What do we do about that? Okay, for the rotator solution, two things. There is an HDR mode inside the app that you can turn on. Turn on the HDR mode either when you're outside or when you're in a really bright or dark room, or where the difference is very big. Now, if you're in a well-lit space, no need to turn on HDR, okay? And number two, point the camera, so start the capture towards the brightest area or the brightest objects in the room, okay? And then your phone will automatically adjust the lighting and the brightness for you, okay? So if that's where the brightest objects or new spaces, start the capture towards that. Okay, then for the One X, okay, the Insta360 X, also turn on HDR, that's an option. And number two, there is for the One X, because there are basically two cameras, right, on both sides, there's a blind spot. You can guess that side would be the blind spot. And so this is basically a blind spot for the Insta360 X. And to make sure that it's not, that your panoramas are not overexposed, make sure that that blind spot basically faces the sunlight or the brightest point in the room. So in this case, again, if that's where the brightest, the sunlight comes from, make sure that your Insta360 X is positioned like that. Okay, so then on both sides, you get equal amount of light and you get a good panorama. Otherwise, what you will get is one really overexposed side and one, a little bit dark. So that's a tip on how to make that happen. Okay, so these are some of the best tips that I can give you. As you can see, the majority is simply in the setup. Once you know how to create this panorama or how to create the best images, you're basically good to go, and you can, upload them to our editor to create these wonderful, VR spaces in virtual reality, basically, or in 360. Now, today we have a absolutely wonderful offer for you, all right, that you can actually try with us. So either you can go for the Insta360 One X, all right, with a 5-month subscription plan with iStaging to create virtual tours. Ultra allows you to create 15 tours at a time, all right, for $499, so really, really affordable. Or you can go for an Ultra plan, 5 months with the capturing kit, so the rotator and the lens, for $99, also for 5 months. So absolutely amazing opportunity to get into this, to get this started, right? Remember that you're not only buying the hardware, all right? You're not only buying the rotator and the lens or the Insta360 One X, you're actually getting a subscription with it, an iStaging subscription with it, and we can, show you how or the details of the platform at a later date. But this is absolutely a wonderful, wonderful option for you guys. The offer expires within the next 24 hours. We'll send it out to you guys as well. The 24 hours you've got to actually take advantage of it. So I would say, go for it. And then now I want to see if there are any questions that I can answer. So let's see if there are any questions from you guys. This is the time to ask. I'll give Andrea a couple of seconds to get this going, to highlight the questions. All right, Henry, Andrea, which one method produces higher quality images, Insta360 or the Rotator? All right, very good question, Henry. What we would say, it depends a little bit on the smartphone that you use. If you use one of the newer smartphones, iPhone X, iPhone 8, or one of the newest Samsung phones, that can actually provide, the Rotator goes up to 8K, whereas the Insta360 One X goes up to 5K, I believe. So yes, the Rotator might get you a better quality image. It does take you a little bit longer, obviously, than to create the image. And at the same time, the setup might be a little bit more complicated than with the One X. Right? The One X is just putting it on a tripod and you're good to go. Here you have to put on the rotator and you have to put the lens on your smartphone. But ultimately, it could get you a higher quality. So it's, but again, we have to be honest. If you look at 2 tours, one taken with the smartphone, the other one with the Insta360 One X, the majority of people probably will not really see the difference, right? Okay, so just give that as I hope that sort of answers your question. All right, next question, also from Henry. Does the clip-on lens make the pictures lose details? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make you lose details. The only thing would be, the stitching at the top, so that little black hole. That's the only detail that you will basically lose. But again, you can cover that. Sometimes it's if you place it all correctly, it's not even there. And on the other hand, you can cover it with a small logo. Some people, there's not even anything there, but they still want to put a logo on there just for branding purposes. So yeah, that would be the only thing. All right, Walter, can you import the 360 panel into Lightroom to process before editing to tour? Okay, so I'm assuming that you're asking if you can download the panoramas and then work on them and upload them to the editor or to the tour. Yes, you can. Well, you cannot. There's no download button within the editor. But what you can do is reach out to our help desk, give your account details, and say I want all of my panoramas, right? My raw panoramic files, and then they will send that to you within the day. All right, or within 24 hours, they'll send you all the raw files. You can work on it, as much as you want, and then re-upload it. So yes, we are happy to provide all of the information for you. Absolutely, no problem. So, will this information be available in text format at a later time? Is this a paid program? Yes, you can actually. I'm assuming you're talking about the PowerPoint as well as the webinar. The iStaging talk will be available on YouTube. Yes. And the presentation, you can actually go to the top right corner and into My Info, and then there's a button that says My Info, and then go to Shared Files, and you'll find the presentation there. All right, so you can actually download it there. Joel, any discount for just the tours? I have the camera already. Yeah, absolutely. So we can talk to you after the webinar about this. We have options for just creating the tours or just having annual plans without the Insta One X. So absolutely, we'll get in touch with you, Joel, right after. All right, so stay tuned for that. How much time does it typically take to shoot a tour? Do you offer any marketing strategies to help sell to potential clients? All right, Joe, how long does it take? It depends a little bit on the number of panoramas that you want to take, but let's say that you take 15 to 20 panoramic images. The shooting takes about, let's say, 20 to 25 minutes, and then an additional 25 minutes to actually edit the tour when you're back home, on our platform. So let's say, let's take a little bit, let's say about an hour. I think, generally, if you schedule 1 full hour for the capturing and the editing process, you get a wonderful virtual tour. And in terms of marketing strategies to sell to potential clients, we can get in touch after the webinar about that. I'm not really sure what your business is, what kind of business you're in. I don't know if you're a photographer. I don't know if you're a real estate agent. And that obviously differs there. So we can definitely talk to you about that after the talk, all right? So don't worry. Carl, how is the quality of the pictures with both solutions in a VR headset like the Oculus Go? Great question. The quality is, well, I'd say very, very good, but it depends on the quality of the image that you took, right? The Oculus Go just basically shows, the quality of the actual panoramic image. So the better the quality of the panorama, the better the result in the Oculus Go. We actually have an app in the Oculus Go. If you are interested in, being able to log into your iStaging account in the Oculus Go to look at your virtual tours, we can help you with that as well. So you can reach out to us after the talk, and we can work something out. So I would say very good quality. We have tons of people, for example, in Germany, real estate agents that are using the Oculus Go with with our tours and showing it to clients at their office. So instead of driving around to 20 different places, they actually have the Oculus Go on and pre-select them at the office, which saves everybody time. So that's the new way of actually selling. Monica, can you show us the VR tour in details again? Yeah, I could do that towards the end if there are any further questions. Then, Carl, is there a stereoscopic capture mode available? Ooh, that's a good question. Let me get back to you on that, Carl, if you don't mind. I see that Andrea is looking that up right now. So we'll get back to you on that. All right. Is there anything else? If there are no further questions, oh, here we go, Henry. Your Rotator compatibility list seems outdated. No Huawei Mate 10 Pro, not even iPhone XR. How so? All right, that's okay. That's a good question. Well, what your phone needs to have is a 4 gigabyte RAM. All right, and I will check with our team just later on. If you want to be sure in terms of the Rotator and the lens solution, all right, just let us know. All right, just let us know what phones you basically have, and we'll make sure that, or let you know which one actually is compatible, which one's not, and we'll also make sure that compatibility list is updated with the newest versions. But sometimes, because there are new phones, so often that sometimes not all of them are in there. Okay. Thanks for that question, Henry. Great questions, guys. I appreciate all of that. I hope that can you share the okay, yeah. So I'd be happy to show you that tour again. All right, so just give me a second for the people that are still interested to actually look at the tour. If otherwise, I want to thank you so much for joining our iStaging talk today. I think here we go. All right. So this is the tour that we just showed. So just a couple of details on this tour. Again, here you have the number of views, the number of likes. You can add information here. I hope that you can actually see the tour. Yeah. You can add a floor plan here on the side. You know, you would have a Google Maps location. You can easily share it. You know, Facebook, Twitter. You know, you have a QR code if you want to. All the there are three ways of basically navigating. You have the panoramas at the bottom. You have the floor plan here, and you have the actual hotspots inside the space. So there are different ways of actually navigating through it. And let me just see if I can go to this area right here. Just to give you some more information about tags, here there's a possibility to add a tag as well that gives you a pop-up window. You can embed a photo and then, you know, a link to, for example, an e-commerce website or your own website. Give more information just to make it much more interactive and much more immersive for you to walk through and virtually walk through the space, right? And you can do this with just an image. You can do it with a 3D model. You can do it with a video or just a little piece of text. Right? This makes it so much more interactive because when I'm virtually walking through the space, well, when I'm physically walking through the space, I have questions. Now, if I'm virtually walking through space, I have the same questions. So if you can give me that information, that helps me, right? It engages me as a viewer, which makes a huge, huge difference. So whatever sales, you know, job you're in, whatever job you're in and you're using, you know, tools, it's not going to take anything away from your job. It just helps you to do your job more efficiently and do your job better. Get your client a much better experience as well. So in real estate, that's the case. In automotive, that's the case. In retail, that's the case. Definitely, you know, people spend so much time online right now. They require and expect more information, and the more information you give them online, the higher the chance that they're actually going to come to your physical space, physical store, that they're actually going to call you up and say, I want more information, or that they're actually going to buy. So it's, again, not taking anything away from your current job. It actually only helps you. Okay, I hope that this helped. So yeah, it does Street View also, absolutely. The tours are hosted on our servers. All right, so they're hosted on the iStaging servers. And all right, I see that Henry wants to make a purchase. That's absolutely amazing. Fantastic. All right, so I see that it was going back to the group was helpful and gave you some more information. Let's see if there are any further questions. I have all day, guys, all the time in the world to answer all of your questions. So feel free. And again, you know, you can after the talk, you can reach out to us directly. You know, to our, you know, we have a customer service team. You can reach out to me. You can reach out to Andrea. You know, we'll all be happy to help you out. Yeah, Chris. So the Street View, you can actually upload panoramas from within the app to Street View. That's possible. Yes, absolutely. VR Maker on Android phone is not working. It should be working. Let us know what phone you're using currently. All right. Let us know what phone, and we can check what the problem is, because the VR Maker is available on both Android and iOS. So it should be available. So there might be a little bit of an issue there, but we can take a look at that. So please let us know. Minesh, is the hosting at an additional cost? No, absolutely not. So it's a subscription-based model, right? So the plans that we just offered you were for 5 months, right? Which is a 5-month bundle, including the hardware. We also have other plans on our website. You know, you can go to iStaging.com. You can find plans there, monthly plans or annual plans. On the website right now, they don't immediately. The monthly plans do not include any hardware. On the annual plans, there are also plans that don't include hardware or do include hardware. So there are multiple possibilities there, but it's just basically a monthly or an annual fee. But there's no additional fee for basically hosting, if that makes sense. All right, then I see that Andrea is showing me that the Google Pixel 2 XL is compatible. So I guess someone asked that before. The Google Pixel 2 XL is compatible. All right. Any further questions, guys? Jorge, I have an Insta360 One X camera and I want to purchase virtuals for real estate. What are the main differences between iStaging and Matterport? Wow, that's a great question. All right, very, very good question. So, at iStaging, well, obviously we're a lot more affordable. That's the first thing. There is branding. There is analytics that you can see. In our case, it is faster to actually create a tour than with Matterport. We have a feature that is called touring, which enables you to actually enables a viewer or to guide someone through a virtual tour remotely. So if they are in a different country or in a different city, you're not in the same space, someone can call you from within a virtual tour and you can remotely guide them through that space, which is absolutely amazing. We can, there are some tutorial videos on that available. We can tell you more about that later on as well. Yes, so these are some of the differences that come to mind right now. There are probably a couple more that we can talk to you about afterwards. So yes, these are some of the main things. Henry, I used a moment clip-on lens, but it causes details loss on the Sure. Yes. So this is very important. The lenses that we provide are perfectly tailored towards our software. Okay. So if you use any other lens, that means that you get results that you just got. We cannot promise that you then get a good quality result because we've spent a lot of time determining what would be the best lens, and then we adapted our software towards that lens to get the perfect image. So the one that I just showed you, the tour that I just showed you, if you think that's a good quality, that's done using a smartphone and the same lens that I showed you right here. Okay, so please, if you want to use the smartphone solution, do not use your own lens, right? Well, you can, but then you don't get the best result. So please, just come to us for the Mercury lens, and you get the perfect quality. So this is a very good point that you're very good point that you're raising, Henry, because yeah, this is exactly what might happen if you don't use our lens. All right. And I should have mentioned that before. Sorry, that's totally my fault. Also, can you review the staging functions in more detail, Minesh? I'm not entirely sure what you mean here. Review the staging functions. So staging, well, I mean, in terms of editing, you have the memos and the tags and the images that you can embed inside a tour. In terms of virtually staging a tour, meaning that I can drop in furniture, for example, that's currently not available. All right. So yeah, I don't know if this answers your question, but otherwise, let me know. If you could maybe clarify a little bit, that'd be great. Okay, I think that this is about it. I think that we have no further questions. If you do, please reach out to us. I want to thank you all so very, very much for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful. I hope it was useful. I hope that you have an idea of how easy it is to create 360 images with our software, how easy it is to create a tour with our software, and what an amazing quality you can get. So I can't wait for all of you to join us and create some amazing tours that we can share. Again, thank you so much. I want to wish you a wonderful end of the week. And we hope to see you at the next iStaging talk. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.